Now we come to step 3, which is today. It and step 11 are my favorites today. And to me, that's a miracle from where I came from. And step 3 is made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood Him. Now let me say right off of the bat that you cannot work that step. Nobody can just say, "Here, God, here's my will and my life. Take it and have it done." It's not that simple. It's not that easy. The AA 12 and 12 describes the practicing of step 3, which is all we can do is practice it. It describes the practicing of step 3 in this manner. It says it is much like opening a door that to all appearances remains closed and locked. There is only one key that will unlock that door, and that key is called the key of willingness. And you will discover in the next steps how very, very important willingness is to your recovery. Once unlocked by this key of willingness, this door almost opens of itself. And as you look through that door, you see a pathway with an inscription written beside it. And that inscription reads, "The path to a faith that works." That is what the practice of step 3 daily leads you to. A faith that really works. And it really does. If I can do it, a dog can do it. From where I was when I came here. Now, I had a problem with that step. I don't think there was one I didn't have a problem with. But I had a little extra problem with that step. How do you turn your will and your life over to the care of somebody you don't trust? We realize now that I do have a higher power. We realize now that I am beginning to grow. But I have a problem trusting this higher power because I cannot imagine that He have enough love for me to forgive me for what I've done. Now, I'm not talking about the petty, selfish things that I did to my alcoholic. I'm not talking about the harm I did to my child. I'm not talking about the awful things I thought about doing and the things I did do. I'm talking about denying my God. I'm talking about those 10 years that I hated Him. In my religion that I was brought up in, that was the unpardonable sin. So I had a problem here. And one of my sponsors, I had 4 of them. I was very sick. One of my sponsors gave me a little project, a little assignment, if you will. They do that. Sponsors do. And you do what they tell you to. I don't know what they do to you if you don't. But she gave me this little project, and she said, "Arleen, every morning I want you to go to your bathroom mirror. I want you to look in that mirror, and I want you to look straight in those blue eyes. I don't want you to look at the shower curtain. I don't want you to look at the ceiling. I don't want you to look out the window. I want you to look in those eyes, and I want you to say these words. God knows you, loves you, cares for you, right where you are. And I love you too." Well, I thought this woman had to be out of her mind. But as I've told you, I never failed to do what my sponsor told me to do. So I started doing this. And the first morning I did it, I stayed on the potty chair a little longer. I tried to put it off, I went and I made sure the door was locked because I was afraid it might come in and see me talking to myself in the mirror. And I finally did what she told me to do, and I felt real stupid and embarrassed and uncomfortable, and I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. But she had told me to do this every morning, and so I continued to do this every morning. And then one morning when I was doing this, I realized something. I realized that my feeling was a little different this morning. I felt giddy. Now, to me, when I say giddy, I'm talking about like that very first date you had with that guy that was just absolutely God's answer to young teenage girls. Remember that first date? And you were really silly. Well, I was. Maybe all of y'all wasn't. But I felt giddy this particular morning. And you know what? It was working. I was changing. This was when I discovered that you don't pray to change God, you pray to change yourself. It changes you. I don't know why it works. I don't know how it works. I just know it works. And then the morning came when I looked in those eyes and I said those words, and I knew without a shadow of a doubt that they were true. My God loved me. It made no difference where I came from. It makes no difference where I might go tomorrow. He loves me because I am His child. I think I forgot to tell you that. The very first thing that she told me to say was, you are God's precious child. He knows you, He loves you, He cares for you. And I do too. And it worked. So now I'm ready to practice step 3.